We are recording this on International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to two of my favorite women. Hope you had a good
Aw.
day.
Wow, I really didn't, but thanks.
I know, neither did I.
Mine was terrible.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Midlight Crisis, a real podcast hosted by three grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally cool. I am one of your hosts, Sophie, and today I have been genetically recombined with a bird who also happens to have a superpower. And also it's only 2%. The bird with a superpower that I have been 2% genetically recombined with is appropriate for today, a screaming effort nightjar.
Oh yeah.
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 Today has
Wow.
been a screaming effort. Although, listen, maybe I'm the only person here who knows anything about nightjars, but I feel like that's just a normal nightjar.
Oh yeah. I don't know anything
They
about
have
them.
like,
Are they the big mouth ones?
yeah, when their mouths are closed, they look like they have teeny tiny itty bitty little beaks, but it's all hidden by feathers. And so when they open their
Aw.
mouth, it's just this horrible pink diamond that's their
Oh
like
my
whole
God.
head. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, that's me. What are you guys? And who are you guys?
Well, my name's Sam, and today I am 2% a weather control medication skimmer.
Oh, weather
boy.
control medication.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh boy.
apparently.
Wow. There's a lot
Yeah.
happening in that one, huh?
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
bit. Just
Medication
little.
skimmer sounds illegal.
I was gonna say that classic bird descriptor medication.
Medication.
Who said it had to be a bird descriptor?
I'm pretty sure that was mine. I went on that day and I just added a bunch of random nonsense that was around my desk, and I was like,
Medication. I mean, weather control seems useful for a skimmer. They're on the ocean.
That's
Yeah.
a
They
great
skim.
point.
Oh,
They
if
do
I had
skim.
weather control, I could go diving every weekend without worrying about the wind or the
And the
snow
snow.
or
Yeah.
the rain.
Or you could just move away from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
That would solve part of the problem, most likely.
Yep.
But Toronto's not much better, and that's like my only other option. Anyways, let's not talk about this.
Anyway.
Hannah!
Hi, I'm Hannah, and today 2% of me is a super strong shower booby.
Hells
Wow, super strong.
Super strong
Shower
shower
booby.
booby.
Yep.
yeah. Booby only found in the shower.
It's only
Accurate.
found in the shower.
You know, I think based on the naming conventions of the birds known as boobies, it should be like a shower-footed booby.
Yeah.
A shower-footed booby.
Yeah.
A strong-footed shower booby.
Yeah. Yeah, good. All
Yeah.
good.
Fantastic.
Sorry, wait. Super strong is your... Okay, right. That's the superpower.
Super strong is a legit superpower. Get off my
Yeah.
dick.
Oh.
Get off my
All right.
boobie.
Get off my boobie. I couldn't think of a better phrase, but there was one right there.
Anyway, the reason we are combined 2% amounts of... dang it. With birds with superpowers is because we are reading Maximum Ride. Today's a struggle. I am a screaming effort nightjar. Can you guys tell us what happened in the chapters we read?
Yes, I'm gonna push you out of your misery. Chapter 25 starts off with Nudge worrying about whether Max is going to return, and Fang decides he's interested in learning something from the Hawks, which I'm pretty sure he was just trying to distract Nudge like a good brother, because Fang turns out is a good brother. Anyways, he says the Hawks seem to move one wing faster than the other while they bank, which makes the bank really tight and smooth. So Fang goes and tries it and then convinces Nudge to also try it. They fly around in a hawk ballet for a bit and eventually settle down for the night, and Nudge laments on how even these dumb hawks have more of a mom than she ever has, to which Fang comforts her, and they both fall asleep into the next chapter. Except the next chapter isn't about them. It's back to Max's POV. which has her making her way through the forest. We find out her gunshot wound was relatively minor, all things considered. Just, casually scooped out a trail of flesh and wing, but it didn't actually lodge itself in. Her situation seriously stank, but eventually she came upon some lights, which led her to a house where, guess who lives there? Ella! Ella is letting her dog, Magnolia? Yeah, Magnolia, out, and Max then heads towards the house in hopes of shelter.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, chapter 27 is an angel chapter, wherein we see her still being kept in a dog crate at the school and being experimented on by sociopathic scientists. She has not had anything to eat or drink except for some, quote, sickly sweet orange stuff, and also she chomped on one of the scientists, so maybe that counts. She's had a shunt put in her hand, and at the end of the chapter has her blood taken for the 4th time in that whatever time period she's thinking about here. And then we get some tonal whiplash in a Gasman and Iggy chapter. They have finished making their bomb, they have named it Big Boy, and they are going to sneak out at night to set a trap for the erasers. So we got all of the established POVs so far in this series of chapters, which is fun.
It was a whirlwind.
It was
Truly
a lot.
a whirlwind.
And yet
Yeah.
somehow nothing at all.
Nothing happened.
Wow.
Nothing happened in any of the chapters.
I am so offended that you guys don't think Fang and Nudge learning from their new hawk parents.
Okay.
How does it
Listen.
move the plot forward?
Emotionally, it's important
No.
for me.
You and you alone.
Me and me
Okay.
alone.
Maybe Hannah cared.
You're
I
telling
didn't
me
particularly
Hannah doesn't like
care.
this found family, this multi-species
Listen.
found family?
I did maybe get a little squishy about Fang being such a good brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
he
cute.
was a good brother.
Yeah, he's like redirecting her anxieties, like teaching her something new, making sure she's safe and comfortable. And I'm like, oh, my heart. Even 10 years later, I'm like, oh, 10 years. 20 years, really.
I was like, is it 2014 now?
Honestly, who can say?
Who can say? Nobody knows.
We do
No
kind of
one.
historically on this podcast have a struggle with the 20 teens.
Yeah, literally any time between when this book came out and now. We don't really
Yeah.
get.
It's fine.
Listen, this
Uh-huh.
part of the book, I was so excited about.
Uh-huh.
Like, I just think it's so fun. I'm trying to figure out a way to put this into words because I really thought Hannah was going to get it. That, like, these, children's, they're not fully human. They don't got parents.
Uh-huh.
And then they see these, like, birds that are chill with them being there. And then they're like, oh, those birds are kind of doing stuff that I could do. And then they're kind of trying to learn from them. I just think it's fun. It's
It
got
is
big
nice.
Avatar The Last Airbender learning
Oh,
original learning how to bend energy. You
well,
know?
now I like this chapter more.
So there.
You got
I
me.
don't relate to that reference.
That's fine. The science that I didn't really look up, but
Uh-huh.
so the thing is that birds don't just know how to fly, is the thing.
Uh-huh.
They know that they can fly, right? Like they have instincts to flap, but part of the fledgling process or fledging, where the babies go from like cozy in the little nest to like being able to fly, is that the parents usually have to like entice them out of the nest and then they fall a lot out of the tree usually or wherever they are. But like during that whole process, there's like positive reinforcement, like, oh, you leave the nest, you learn how to like use your wings to balance and flap, and then you get food. And so at some point it just turns into flying. So there's like
Oh.
this process where, yeah, a bird knows how to fly, kind of. It knows how to flap its wings, and it has like instincts that drive that flapping. If you ever see like a fledgling falcon cam, like people have those out there. And you just
I've
watch
been
like
watching an eagle one a lot for
Yeah.
the last few weeks.
they're great. At some point there's a stage where you'll just see them kind of hanging out flapping, like, and they're just strengthening those muscles because that part's like instinct. But yeah, they kind of have to be like shown a little bit how to fly, and then they need to practice it. And so I just think it's really fun that Fang and Nudge here are like learning how to fly from birds
Yeah.
because they don't have anyone to teach them. They're probably just bad at flying.
They probably are bad at
They're
flying.
probably really bad at
Probably.
flying.
Not a good use of their energy for something
Mm.
so energetically expensive.
Expensive,
Yay.
yeah.
Was watching a TV show yesterday and it referred to a child as a human larva, and I can't unthink it. It's like a human larva learning how to walk.
Yeah.
But just birds.
No, that's literally what it is often described.
Compared to?
Likened to.
Likened to. Uh-huh.
Lichen.
Lichen.
Likened. Anyway.
Guys, this has been a week for all of us in different contexts.
And it's only Wednesday.
We're all having a time separately, but at the same time. I do really like that they get the opportunity to learn how to be a bird from a bird. Because like you said, how would they know otherwise?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, in this sort of genre where it's like, oh, a, kid who is, the chosen one in whatever way, in that they usually have magic or they're genetically recombined or they're whatever. I usually just find it fun when they're like, I'm going to observe like all of these things that I am kind of a part of and then choose which parts are for me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Aragon in Eldest.
Sure.
Oh.
He did that. Anyway.
Yeah. They can't just live fully as humans, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're mostly human. But I just like that they could be like, I'm gonna spend some time watching some birds.
Yeah, wild how Sophie relates to hanging out and watching birds.
Maybe
Crazy.
I just like that Fang loves birds.
Again, wild that you would think that.
Wow.
It is nice. It's pretty cute. Okay, maybe I feel like Sophie will know the answer to this, but maybe Sam and I can speculate a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
Nudge has another line in this chapter referencing something that's come up before, where she gets all sad that even hawks have moms and she doesn't have a mom. And I feel like this is a plot point, is it not? That like Nudge goes off to try to find her mom. Do you remember that, Sam? I feel like this happens, and then her mom sucks or something.
I mean, you saying it is like kind of like, yeah, I could see that happening, but I honestly have zero memory of like anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the only thing I remember is like I think the big confrontation between like Max and Fang.
Oh,
like,
I don't remember
obviously that would like not confrontation, but where they finally admit they like each other.
You would remember that.
You would remember
exactly.
that
Sophie remembers the part where Fang likes birds. Sam remembers the part where everybody's in love, and I remember the part where people are sad about their families.
I don't remember this book well at all. I do not remember like the two after this at all. And I know I've read them, but no memory.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
They clearly left an impression.
Anyway, I guess I think that's foreshadowing. Do you want to speculate?
I think you're right. Again, I don't remember that part, but I think you're right.
It's believable.
I was like, I think she does meet her mom and she sucks.
Yeah.
Right before you said it. And then I was like, okay, yeah, if two of us think that.
Yeah, if two of us have like a vague memory wiggle, then chances are there's something there.
Yeah, I don't think all of them end up finding parents.
No, I think specifically Nudge.
Yeah. Like, I think Nudge is in this book.
Yeah.
They are rubbing it in enough that,
yeah,
like, they're making it pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something's gonna happen here.
Well, we're only, like, 10% into the book, and they can't rescue Angel in the next 5%, because then what'll the rest of the book be about? So...
Great point. I also thought the little bedtime routine that the flock has was just a really cute little detail. Obviously. I think that's cute.
Obviously.
They do like a team fist bump before they go to bed every night. Like, how cute is that? Oh,
it's cute.
It's so cute.
It's cute.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I feel like regardless of how much we make fun of Fang for being edgy, he's still 14 and Max is still 14. And I
Yeah.
bet this moment is important to them.
Definitely.
I'm fine.
Oh no. Emotions are doing weird things today.
We're having a good time.
We're having a great time.
Yep.
But yeah, it was very nice. And
It
then
was
they
pretty
fall
cute.
asleep into the next chapter.
Into
Which
the
is
next
kind of
chapter.
fun in this book because we don't get it as often.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little treat.
That's why I have to
Yeah.
highlight it when it happens. Also,
Yeah.
I'm just never gonna let the joke die.
No.
It's too good.
I'm
It
too
will
proud of
continue to be
myself.
funny.
It's funny forever. I just was thinking at the end of this chapter, because Nudge is like, oh, good night, she whispered, feeling as if everything she cared about had been ripped away from her. And I was like, did you not? Okay, not to be that guy, but was this not how you felt at the school all the time? You know, like, did they get to hang out at the school? Or were they kept in separate dog crates? You know?
They've been away from the school for several years. She would have gotten accustomed to a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which is probably all the more precious because maybe they didn't have it when they were at the school, so it's something that she puts a lot of extra value in.
Yeah, true. I mean, yes, she can feel so sad right now. But I'm just like, I mean, it's not like you had
Yeah.
the first 8 years of your life go
It's
great.
true.
Anyway, we don't have to talk about that. That's depressing.
Yeah, let's skip the child abuse for now. We'll get back to
Yeah.
that later in the Angel chapter. But we could talk about the Max chapter, which I guess is not child abuse, but child endangerment because she has been bleeding for hours, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
How much blood do birds have? Like a regular amount? Probably.
I think a regular amount. I mean, most of her body is human.
Yeah. I guess, does she have like the same amount of blood as a human? Or does she have like more blood because she's part bird and has wings?
I mean,
Presumably the wings are vascular.
yeah, I was gonna say, just from a sheer mass perspective, I think she does have more veins and arteries and stuff. I think bird bones are more vascularized than human bones, also.
That would make sense.
And also, you need a lot of blood pumping through the wings for the muscles. Or I guess for the... That would be through the torso then more. She has blood, confirmed.
She definitely has blood.
Just some like groundbreaking science communication happening here, folks.
You know, this has been a discussion in two of the two other books we read, so I want to thank this book for, in this chapter, saying that she is warm-blooded.
That's a great point, actually.
That's a great point,
Yeah.
Are there cold-blooded birds? I don't think
No.
so.
No.
Right? I don't know anything about birds.
I
I
don't
know
know
like there's
enough about
like
this.
penguins have that really interesting countercurrent circulation to keep their feet from freezing off.
Yeah.
But that's not really relevant.
Right.
It's just interesting.
Yeah, they're all warm-blooded because also
they're...
dinosaurs were warm-blooded.
Dinosaurs were warm-blooded. Saphira is probably warm-blooded.
We're not going... No, she's nuclear powered. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Saphira doesn't have blood, but Max does.
But Max does. And I love that this whole time she's like still running away from the clowns. She calls them here. the dudes, which like I'm like, okay, this has to be Max's training / trauma because they gave up hours ago, right?
Oh yeah.
There's no universe in which you convince me that they were actually hunting for her for hours in the woods.
Yeah, like she's worried about them bringing dogs, and I'm like, this is Max's past, obviously
100%.
breaking through, but like she thinks they're erasers, but they're 15-year-olds who suck.
Yeah, they're just jerks.
I guess the erasers might be 8-year-olds who suck, but listen.
It's different.
It's different. These are not genetically modified to suck, dudes.
No. They came by their suck naturally.
They are 100% human.
100% all natural suck.
100% clown. But yeah. Poor Max.
Yeah, poor Max.
really just assuming the worst of these probably very lazy young men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then amazingly, she stumbles upon Ella's house
Yeah, what the heck?
after
walking
hours.
for hours?
Yeah.
Was she walking in circles and just thought it was north?
I mean, I guess she spent a lot of the time hiding.
True. And she's injured, so she's probably moving slowly. She did say
Yeah.
she, like, crossed back and forth across the rivers a few times in
Uh-huh.
case of the dogs, which is going to be more time consuming because you got to be more careful with your footing. And I guess, like, if we're talking hours, meaning like 3 or 4 hours,
Yeah.
that still could be, like, based on the limitations we've discussed, it could be like 10 to 15 kilometers, which is not that far in, like, a town.
Right. Yeah. But sorry, I got really distracted because I was looking at this chapter and I realized
Great,
that
thanks.
Max mentions God. And I was like,
Oh.
where
Is there
did she learn
religion
about
in
God?
Oh yeah.
Is there religion
Is there
in
religion in California?
not
In
to be that
Colorado?
guy once again?
She prays to whatever god Aragon does.
Yeah.
Maybe Jeb is religious.
That must be it.
This is set in our world, right?
But how does she know what God is? She didn't go to church on Sundays.
Pop
yeah, then
culture?
to Hannah's point, it must be Jeb.
It's either Jeb is religious, or they use the internet, because we know they've had the internet, or like maybe they have like satellite or TV or whatever, and
Yeah.
have like consumed some pop culture.
Christianity is everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty ubiquitous in North
okay.
America.
God is everywhere.
Wow, amen.
Yeah, I know. I hated that coming out of my mouth.
But when you're a kid with bird wings and you've never gone into like a public place with other people, you know?
What if the one belonging that the scientists gave the kids was a Bible?
Oh,
Because
that's
that is
messed up.
very much something that
Yeah.
very religious scientists would do.
It super is. Well, no, it can't be that though, because they don't treat Angel like a human, and if they were
Yeah.
trying to evangelize her, they probably
yeah.
would be preaching.
Also, I just feel like genetic recombination might be against God's will somehow. Surely there's something like you can't wear linen and cotton or whatever. I bet
don't
you
know,
can't
man.
put bird genes in a human.
God made an entire woman out of 2% man. Like,
I'm just gonna say this: there has been some crazy shit done in the name of God, and we'll just leave it at that.
arguably the craziest shit.
The craziest.
Aren't you only allowed to lie with you're only another man? Wait. No, wait.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Something
Yeah,
about
Hannah's
God
the most
says-
religious person here.
God
Something
says
about-
be gay, do crimes.
Yeah, God says be gay, do crimes. It
I'm
doesn't
gonna get
no.
smote.
You're only allowed to have babies through the sanctity of marriage.
Yeah, but they don't think that these kids are human. Clearly,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
then
they're
they
not-
can't be
they're
evangelized.
not having children.
And to my point again, maybe they're only treating Angel this way because she escaped before, and maybe they were like treated okay-ish before that. Not okay-ish, but like obviously not because they escaped. But maybe enough so that they were given Bibles because maybe they were recombined with birds to make them angels because they're all religious.
Whoa.
The
I
angel
hate this theory.
experiment.
This literally is the first moment that's occurring to me.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
now
there
I
could be
kind of want to read
angels.
that book, though, where
Oh,
some
no.
hyper-religious, extremely sociopathic science genius decides that he is going to create biblically accurate or inaccurate angels.
Biblically, imagine if they had
maybe you're reading
eyeballs.
it.
Bazillion eyeballs. Maybe I'm reading it. It's true.
I mean, they've never said how many raptor eyes they have.
That's a great point. They
Maybe
could be
they have
everywhere.
400 all over their bodies.
Max hasn't mentioned it because it's normal to her.
Yeah, it's normal to her. Anyway, we've gotten off track.
We're
we
not
talking
even
about?
off the rails. We're like on the next street over.
Did
Like
were we
nowhere
even
near
on
the rails.
Yeah.
We've made a conclusion. God has come into it because they most likely got Bibles from the school because it is the angel experiment. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, actually, it makes sense that they would know what God is if they named Angel Angel.
That's a good point.
It's all coming together now.
It's all coming back to me.
I just think it's pop culture exposure. That's the
Yeah,
theory
that's
that
fair.
I'm sticking with.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's probably most likely, but I'm sticking with mine.
Yeah, no, yours is way more interesting as a concept.
I wonder if 11 is an angel thing.
That's
Oh.
also where my brain was going to. I was like, is this some sort of biblical reference and that's why it's in two major crazy scientist media things?
All right, Hannah,
Is
you're the Catholic.
11 a god number?
It's 11 a god number.
One of the most intriguing numerical figures in the scripture is the number 11. It's associated with evil and chaos. Huh.
Guys, it's all coming together.
All coming
Wow.
together.
I have never
Wow.
been so proud of myself for putting this
Angel
together.
Is evil
The Bible
and chaos.
uses the angel number 11 many times for varying purposes. The
Wow.
angel number 11?
There's so much of books that I miss because I don't know the Bible enough, and that's the worst.
Same.
Looking directly at you, Tamsin Ware.
Tamsin what now?
Didn't I say Ware?
No.
How do you say the last name? Oh,
You
I
did-
really thought I did.
It kind of sounded like you just went, yeah.
Oh, Gideon the Ninth lady. You know.
Yeah.
That one.
I also made a Gideon the Ninth parallel, and that it would be hilarious if these guys were trying to, like, very seriously and, like, religiously create angels to fulfill the vision of God or some shit, and then Max shows up, like, throwing slang everywhere and cracking wise. It's exactly like whenever Gideon shows up in those books, and she just does a meme at everyone.
Actually, I think Harrow's the one doing the memes. I don't want to talk about Gideon while we're talking about this book because
I want to talk about Gideon.
I like Gideon.
You arguably like this book. You said
I
it.
liked this book, and that's
welcome.
coloring all of my opinions. But anyway, I keep thinking the next group of chapters are going to be the ones where Max goes into Ella's house because it's the part I've been so excited about forever, but I guess it'll be the next chapter. I thought it was be these ones.
Should we say, just as a reminder for anybody who may have forgotten, Ella is the girl that Max descended from the skies to save from Elise.
Oh,
in case
yeah.
anybody else had forgotten what her name was.
Right. And Max is mad that she's now stuck behind.
Yeah.
Or stuck on the ground, I guess.
Stuck on the ground. She's been grounded.
But also is like, wow, I still would have done it over again.
Yeah, which seems like poor decision making, but I guess she is 14.
Yeah, anyway. Next chapter.
Anyway. Yeah, Angel is in a crate, and some scientist comes by to act like a ghoul and take her blood.
Yeah. Well, he's not a ghoul yet because he's only being nice.
He's not being nice.
He'll be a ghoul in the next one.
Oh, God. He was not nice in this one. What are you talking
he's not
about?
Nice. I mean, he doesn't punch her in the face.
No, yeah, he is indignant that somebody else punched her in the face. But,
Yeah.
like, the bar is in hell, and he's still barely managing to get over it.
He tried to crawl under it, but couldn't make it.
Couldn't quite fit.
Yeah. So he reluctantly stepped over it.
Yeah. Yeah, because Angel did get punched in the face by one of the adult scientists. I guess in his defense, she bit him. In her defense, she is a small child in a cage being forcibly experimented upon by a bunch of adults who should know better.
Yeah.
So, that dude deserves to get bitten again, for sure.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, listen, human mouths are like an absolute cesspool of bacteria, and it's like super dangerous to get bitten by another human. And I don't know what bird mouths are like and how much of their 2% is in their mouth, but hopefully Angel gave him some horrific infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Now I just got distracted by the thought of Angel having, like, bird inside mouth.
She's also a nightjar, so when she opens her mouth, her entire head splits in half.
Oh,
No.
my God.
Oh, I hate it. Body horror.
Body horror. Oh, it would be especially horrifying in a cherubic little 6-year-old with literal fluffy angel wings.
Yeah.
Her face just splits in half and she has a bunch of shark teeth in there.
I hate it.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I want to talk about the science they're doing.
Okay.
because the scientist, unnamed, not Riley, the piece of
Not
shit.
Riley, the guy who hits children.
The guy who doesn't hit children and
Yeah.
pretends to be nice
Yeah.
is thinking about how he needs 2 more blood samples to do a glucose assay. And a blood glucose assay is commonly used to read for diabetes, like to check your sugar content. And I was like, I wonder if birds have higher blood sugar. And they super do.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Like way
Oh.
higher.
I guess that makes sense. Their
Yeah.
lifestyle is energetically expensive. Requires
Heyo.
Uh-huh.
requires more glucose to be available for like body functions.
The
Yeah.
Krebs cycle.
Krebs cycle. ATP.
Yeah, I gotta get that ATP formation.
Gotta get that ATP formation. However, one thing that's very important about bird blood glucose levels
Uh-huh.
Right, yeah?
is that when they're stressed, they get wildly high.
Oh.
I don't know, unless you're specifically trying to look like, are they trying to do a baseline study here? Because
I feel like they are because they made her drink like the glucose drink.
right? And so, like, the wildest part of all of this is that, like, when you're trying to do baseline studies on stuff, you don't want the thing stressed. You want them in
No.
a resting, chill state.
Yeah, which is why baseline studies don't really exist for right whales.
Yeah, they're never chill.
Aw.
No right whale in modern memory has ever been unstressed.
Well, so there's no big enough sample size.
No,
This is really sad.
much like a right whale, I'm stressed about that.
As we've said, obviously this is bad science.
Yeah.
But it's like now, like they're just being bad at science and mean. You know?
Yeah, like there's no not validation, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's not even that there isn't a good reason for it. It's like they're actively making their science worse.
Yeah, like they're just doing a bad job and being dicks. Like there's
Yeah.
no redeeming quality to any of this. It's not like at least they're gonna get good data out of it. They're not gonna get good data. They're just torturing a child for bad data.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who does that?
If I've learned anything about science, now going back into academia, it's that there's like no
Uh-huh.
baseline studies for anything.
Cool.
No.
Like so much data is missing just on like what things are at the natural state or resting
my
state. And so
God.
it's just like, how can you prove what they're trying to prove here if they don't know what's normal for Angel?
Because nobody pays money
Yeah.
to figure out what's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we live in a capitalistic society, and the only way to conduct science is if you are doing something that is going to answer a question that is of economic value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not salty at all.
Nope. Man,
Definitely not. None of
today
us.
someone was talking about a paper that was published in Nature Reports.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Big paper, and basically part of the title was insights into functional whatever, right? Like insights into the functional adaptations of the thing they were looking at
Yeah.
genetically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
at no point did they actually talk about the function of what they had found.
Yep.
In the conclusions, they said future work should focus on isolating what the function is. And it's like, you
Oh my
put that in
God.
the title and got published in Nature.
Oh my God.
And you didn't
Welcome.
even do that.
Does that
Welcome
word
to
have like a
science.
second meaning that I don't know?
No.
No.
Mm.
They objectively just didn't do it.
Clickbait for science.
Clickbait for science.
Science clickbait. Anyway,
Oh
that's
my
what
God.
they're
I've
doing
been
here
salty
too.
about science clickbait. Still mad that I downloaded a paper called Finding the Right Whale, and it was about humpback whales, but they just meant the correct whale, and I'm like, words mean things. I wanted to know how you were gonna find right whales, because a lot of people are wondering how you find right whales, and they were like, we can use AI to determine which is the right humpback whale, and I'm like, that's not what you said you were doing in the title of your paper. I wasted several minutes trying to find this on an
Oh,
open
man.
source site, and this was 2 weeks ago, and clearly I'm over it.
Wow, especially like they're studying whales. They should know
Studying
that right
whales, they
whales
should know that-
exist.
I would argue that right whales are a bit more of like a hot button topic than humpback whales at the moment, at least in
Wow.
North America.
Just throwing some shade around.
No, humpback whales are delightful, but they're not being tanked by humans.
And this is why in our scientific paper titles, we include any common name with a scientific name. And we actually try to avoid a common name at all possible costs because of this.
What if you have 113 species in your
That's
paper?
a you problem.
That's gonna be one long title, I'm just saying.
One long title.
I'm gonna have to make up some common names.
More my point is, for example, if you are working on, say, a rock crab, you're going to include Cancer erotis in your title, or if you are working on a green sea urchin, you are going to include Strongylus and Trotostrobachiensis. If you are looking at whales, your type, I don't know the species name of whales, that's Hannah, but if they're going to say, like,
Nova Angliae.
yeah, if right whale is in the
humpbacks.
title, it should be followed by a scientific name. And if it's not, then that's just on the authors and also the peer reviews. Like, that's a pretty common thing that they should be doing.
Yep.
So I shouldn't tell you about the paper I found about southern right whales that referred to them in the title as a Southern Ocean capital breeder, but did not indicate what species they were, what genus they were, what phyla they were.
I am gonna strangle people who just say or like marine animals or
Oh yeah, there was another one that was like some kind of like high level marine predator, and it was on like a marine mammal listserv, and I was like, oh, I should check this out, it might be one of my species, and it was a sea lion. It was like, if only you had said that this was about a sea lion, I would have had to track it down.
The paper they're making about Angel is going to be like proteins in the blood glucose management pathway in warm-blooded animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a unique specimen. Singular specimen, something or other.
I was like, they can't even call the species Homo sapien, can they?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is
Homo sapiens avians or something? Angelus.
I am not the taxonomist.
Don't they if I think genetic recombination would be like when plants cross breed, because then they do like the name X, the other species name, when they're like weird recombinations. So I guess they'd probably have to do that with this.
Homo sapiens X Zendaya macrora.
Okay, well, actually, it depends which species concept we're going by, because if they can reproduce with normal humans, then technically they're the same species.
Okay, but we don't know if they can reproduce.
Guess we'll just have to see.
They are 14 at the oldest.
Wait, no.
We will not see.
We do know.
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, Max has a baby.
Yeah, we do know.
Is she a regular human?
No, she's also a bird kid. And I think Max reproduced with a bird kid.
Yeah, so wait, then no, we still don't know. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Surely one of them falls in love with a regular human at some point.
Yeah.
I think we know the love interest here.
Maximus Ritus.
No. No.
This book is wild.
No, they would call it like Anglicus or something like that.
Oh god. Americanus. Californiae, because they were built there.
Homo Anglicus Californiae.
Oh my god, I hate it.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about this chapter.
Yeah.
What about you guys? It's just, listen, the angel stuff is just sad.
Yeah,
like,
it's
they're
just
doing
depressing.
bad science. The end.
She's like still upset that like Max hasn't come for her. She doesn't resist when they take her blood, but she also still hasn't spoken to any of them that we know of, which for some reason I have fixated on. I am curious to know if they know that she like understands them and that she is intelligent. Like clearly they think she's intelligent because they mentioned in one of the previous chapters that like her intelligence levels are off the charts. Somehow they measured that. I don't
with
know.
the EGs somehow.
With the EG, yeah.
EGs. Maybe she just has a giant brain.
She just has a giant brain.
She just has a huge
head.
And they're like, wow, smart.
What a smart child.
That's what smartness is.
The scientist does like praise her for offering her hand, which they have put a shunt in to like take blood from her more easily, which again is ghoulish. Mm-hmm. But he like verbally praises her for offering her hand without a fight. So clearly he is aware that she understands what he wants and understands what she needs to do to make it a less painful process, and also perhaps understands that she understands verbal praise, then again, we have all worked with invertebrates, and I definitely made like cooing happy noises at my sea pens for being all big and beautiful in the mornings.
Yeah,
And they
I did.
certainly could not understand.
I did a lot of talking to the octopus, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that might not be much of a measure of anything.
No, I feel like I am assuming she's not talking as a trauma response. That's
Yeah.
what I was taking it as.
Yeah, no, I don't blame her for not speaking. I'm just curious if the scientists are aware that she can.
Oh, yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Not us yet.
Not us yet.
Next chapter. Iggy and Gasman make a bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's it.
that's really it.
They finish making the bomb and they're like, wow, great. Is it night yet? Are these dark clothes? Fantastic. Let's go set a trap. And that's it. The bomb has a timer, so that's good, I guess.
I think my brain is just non-functional, which I have mentioned today. Are they trapping the house?
I think they're
And then
trapping
leaving
the
it?
road.
They're trapping
Yeah,
the road. Okay.
The road.
Yeah. I think like they're going to go out and look for, well, I guess Gasman is going to look for the Erasers camp and then put tracks around wherever the Erasers have been encamped.
They still don't know that the
traps.
Erasers are there.
They don't. They're
Okay.
assuming.
Yeah. Okay, great. Cool,
Which we
fun.
are also assuming.
Also, none of their plans include the bomb. They just decided to make it in case.
Yeah?
Which,
Yep.
like, they're 100% gonna use it.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I like that they spent so long making it and then are just like, anyway, we're gonna put nails on the road and make it slippery.
And make a slip and slide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's been like
you have
three...
a bomb.
It's been like 3 episodes of them talking about how they're making this bomb, and they finally made the bomb, and they're like, great, it's a good thing we have this for safety if we need it.
Yeah, our
Like-
emotional support bomb.
Our emotional support big boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway,
Yeah, I don't know.
they'll
man.
probably use it next time. Chekhov's bomb.
I feel like these two together are cute, but I can definitely understand why Max wouldn't want them to come with her on what is presumably a stealth rescue mission.
Yeah.
But also, on the flip side of that, they should not have been left alone together.
Yeah. Really, I don't think Nudge should have been brought
No.
along also. She can't sit still for like 2 seconds.
No, she can't sit still and she can't keep quiet. That's a bad...
Yeah. Anyway, this only just occurred to me, but I think humans have better night vision than like many diurnal animals, like animals that are awake during the day. Like I think even more so than a lot of birds, because like listen, falcons and hawks and stuff put all their ability score points into see in daytime.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure like owls are the only birds that can see really well in the dark, or even
Okay.
like at all. But humans kind of evolved to be, at all hours of the day chasing stuff down at night.
We're a jack of all trades species.
Yeah. So it's interesting that they're flying at night. Obviously, this doesn't bother Iggy, but
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I guess Gasman can see at night. So even though they've been talking about their cool raptor vision, it's like, well, okay, maybe, but they also have the power to see in the dark, like humans. Anyway, that's the only thought I had about that. No, nothing else.
There's not much to say.
Great. Then let's guess what happens next. So the next 4 chapters, I will read you the first sentence, and you have to guess what's going to happen.
Okay.
Okay. Chapter 29 is Ella.
Okay, so this is a Max chapter.
Yeah, Max is gonna go and meet Ella.
Mm-hmm.
And talk
I'm excited to
Ella.
find out what happens in Ella's house, since apparently Sophie is excited about it.
I'm so excited.
I've absolutely no idea
Me
what it could
neither.
possibly be.
Okay, the next chapter 30. The sentence that starts it is, you think that wire will hold?
Iggy and Gas
Yeah.
Mhm.
with their bomb.
I'm concerned about their well-being.
Yep.
They need supervision.
Yeah.
One of the sentences I read, wow, because my eyes are on this chapter while I'm looking at this. It just says, wait till Max found out how cool they were.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Oh, Gazzy, my sweet summer child, no.
Okay, chapter 31. A dark-haired woman with worried eyes opened the door wider.
That must be
Max.
Max and Ella again.
Yeah, Ella's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Ella probably helps Max wound.
Yeah. So they don't go into Ella's house in the first chapter, chapter 29.
No, they're
They
just
just
outside.
Oh yeah, cuz it's one scene per chapter. So they have their scene where Max is like, "Look at me, I'm a bird kid. I need help." And Ella's like, "Oh my god, a bird kid. My
Yeah.
mom is a nurse or something."
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Hold on.
Oh.
I feel like something is wiggling in my memory.
Sophie's like,
I'm so
yeah,
excited.
yeah.
Are they the evil white coats somehow? Are they affiliated with the school? Don't
Do you
answer
want me to
that.
answer that? Okay.
No, I don't.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Like, the idea of Ella's mom being there makes me reflexively nervous. So I feel like something bad might happen.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe I just don't trust grown-ups. It could be
Wow.
either.
You're a grown up.
You're a grown-ups.
Am not.
Uh,
My car payment says otherwise.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited about this chapter. Okay, the next
Okay.
chapter.
Next chapter.
This is the last one? I've forgotten already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had 2 Maxes and a Gasman. So one more.
Yeah, okay. So this one, chapter 32, is Come on, come on.
It's not helpful.
Oh, I guess it's a comma. Come on. The Gasman breathed.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I was gonna guess it was an Ella's house chapter again, but I guess it's Gazzy watching some erasers to either leave or to fall into a trap.
Or
guess.
him and Iggy have to run away from the bomb that they set off that's about to explode and kill them.
Oh my god, and Gasman whispers encouragement to himself under his breath, like Greg in under the whispering door. No, over the garden wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run,
Same
run, run,
vibe.
run, 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 run.
Yep. Wow,
That's
good
cute.
guess. Cool. Great guesses. Can confirm that perhaps in the next chapters we will get to the part I'm excited about. But otherwise, let's talk about what else we're reading. I don't remember what I said I was reading last time, but I have definitely started Book of Night by Holly Black since then. I'm having a good time with it. I don't know that I'll finish it because I did the skip the line thing. And so I only have 7 days to finish it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
We'll
that's tough.
see if I get to the end of it. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. Apparently there's some bad reviews of it, but I'm having a good time so far.
I have been editing our last episode, so I remember what I said last week. And I'm sorry to disappoint everyone. I'm reading the exact same things. I have not finished anything since last week.
You're reading a 10,000 page book. Of course you haven't finished it.
Well, that's a great point.
Anyways, to refresh everybody's memory, I'm listening to the audiobook of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which is a literary fiction about 2 people making video games. I made progress on it, but I'm not done it. I'm also reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. And I can now confirm that this is, in fact, Sarah J. Maas in another form. So if you like Sarah J. Maas, you will like this book. I have like a few chapters left of it, so I'm almost on this one. I'm still listening to the nonfiction pirate book. Pirates are doing pirate things. We're learning, you know. And then lastly, Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. I can say I finished part 3, so I am on page 549 of like 1200, I think. So we're 45% of the way through at page 549.
God. That's so many pages.
Yeah, having a great time. It is very good, so like don't let that discourage you. But I've also had a lot going on with work and stuff and just, you know, mental vibes. So we are at the same place we were at the last episode. But how about you, Hannah?
Well, I've made some progress. I am still reading The Midnight Bargain by C.L. Polk, but I did take a break from that to read Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon Maguire, which is the 3rd book in the Wayward Children series, and I enjoyed it. It was cute. It was all nonsense.
Wow.
So there was a lot going on. I finished Nona the Ninth, which was so good.
So good.
I love Nona, and Nona loves me.
Yep.
And since that was an audiobook, I then started listening to Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall by Ashley Herring Blake, which is
Do you
book
mean
2 in the
fail?
Bright Falls. Yep, sorry. Okay, I'm glad you said that because I straight up thought that it was Doesn't Fall until like last week.
And she explicitly does fall right at the
She
beginning.
does fall right at the beginning. She does indeed fall, and she does not fail. Astrid Parker doesn't fail,
Yep.
I assume. Maybe in the when we're like 3/4 of the way through the book and they need to have a dramatic breakup scene.
Mm.
Anyway, that's book 2 in the series that starts with Delilah Green Doesn't Care, in case anyone was wondering. And I thought it would be fun to mention the book news that came out today, because there was a bunch of it, and it's relevant to us, even though by the time this episode comes out, probably you've already heard it, but if not, we're getting a new book in the Aragon series this
Yeah.
November. Christopher Paolini just announced Murtagh, which is set after the end of the original Inheritance quadrilogy.
This is so annoying because we could have done Aragon and Murtagh at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, they're not. They're not.
I don't care.
No, yeah, I was with Sophie. I was like, damn it, this timing, it would have been perfect like we did with Twilight and Midnight Sun.
Okay, but
No, it's
Murtagh
fine.
explicitly comes after the events.
It would have been amazing.
It would have been so funny.
Chaos.
Okay.
Chaotic.
I
Great.
also like that you're saying, wow, by the time this comes out, you would have already heard about it. You literally retweeted it earlier today.
That's
People
what I
heard
mean.
about it from you before
Yeah.
we even recorded this.
Yeah. Listen, I know at least one person who listens to the podcast and doesn't follow us on Twitter. Granted, I did send her a message explicitly to tell her that there was a new
I was
Aragon
gonna
book coming.
say, are you saying you haven't already told everyone about this?
I only told 3 people, and 2 of them were you. So, actually, no. Sam told us about this, and then I
Yeah.
just.
Listen.
This is too much detail. We don't need to include all of this detail in the podcast. If you haven't seen, there's a new Aragon book coming in November. There's also an Aragon illustrated edition coming in November, and unfortunately, I really want it.
Yep.
It looks great. Also, there's a new V. Schwab book coming out that was announced today, which is
Yeah.
way more exciting than the Christopher Paolini one. I don't know if that's taken as a given or sacrilegious for us to say on this podcast. It could be either. But it's called the Fragile Threads of Power, and it's coming out close to my birthday, so I'm excited about that. Was there any other book news today? The Legends and Lattes prequel went on pre-order a couple days ago. That was exciting.
It was a cover reveal. That was, yeah.
Anyway, if you liked this chapter of Midlight Crisis, consider rating and reviewing us on Spotify or your podcatcher of choice. You can talk to us and find fun-related content on social media. We are at Midlight Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Tumblr, and all chapters of the show thus far are available on our website, midlightpod.podbean.com, and on YouTube.
And a note from Angel about us, or maybe more specifically Sophie, always saying that we're going to learn genetics by the next episode. And maybe the moon was made out of cream cheese.
Listen.
Called out.
Listen, I like cream cheese, so.
Yeah, I know you do. Because I can't eat it, and there's always some in our fridge.